Broadcasting live from sunny South Florida, this is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. Your KMA crew, the Italian Scallion, Paul DeGracco, Alex Tavella, a.k.a. The Goat, and always telling it like it is, Honest Abe.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the leaf. I am your host, Honest Abe, and thank you for joining us this fine but rainy here in South Florida Saturday morning for KMA Talk Radio, episode number 440. As always, I am with my trusty gang, the Italian Scallion himself. Looks like in his new place, finally.
Yeah.
And the man we call the GOAT, Alex Tavella.
Look at Paul cheesing. Paul's cheesing. He's happy.
I'm so happy. We finally got in.
What a beautiful tree you have.
That's an olive tree. I would assume as a paisan you would appreciate that. That's it's got fake olives on it and everything.
Am I actually seeing a Maneki Neko on your table?
A what?
A what?
That's what.
The cat.
That's what they call the golden cat.
Yes, it's good luck for sales.
Dude, that is so funny.
Wait till you see when I get everything unpacked.
I told you were a cat person, dude. You just don't know it. You just don't know it.
No, in Asian culture, which I've studied quite a bit.
You didn't even know what it was called.
Yeah, wait a minute. Time out. You don't get to give us the historical significance. You didn't even know what it was called.
It was a gift. It was a gift from a friend of mine. But I wanted to show you this because I came across this. This was another gift that's kind of cool, like a little piece of memorabilia. I have a bunch of other pieces of memorabilia, but I don't know if you can see this.
Disneyland,
you know what that is?
Band? That's a Disneyland cigar band.
Yeah, it's an original unused Disneyland cigar band. So they used to sell branded cigars, I guess.
You should just hand that over to me. Let me put it on my museum.
That's actually
you know what?
Only piece of impressive Disney
memorabilia.
No, I have more. It's packed away. I have an original ticket book actually that was also given to me.
I mean, the cigar band is relevant.
But Abe, I actually may be getting more of these because somebody found the larger versions and a couple of the smaller ones that they're going to give me. So if I do, you can have this one.
Yeah, I'd like to have one of those in my.
It's really cool. I had no idea. I knew there was a tobacconist, but I didn't know they actually sold tobacco in Disneyland. But they did.
They probably used to walk around smoking in Disneyland. What are you talking about?
They probably did. You're right. But yeah, we finally got in. I'm in the office. My desk came. If you'd like, I can stand. I have an automatic raising. Oh wait, where's it going? See now? Look at this. Automatically goes up and down. What? But now I got to stand up, so that's a whole thing. But
what automatically goes up and down?
My desk. Here. See? And it goes up and down, and it's fancy.
Like you're ever gonna stand and work? Who the fuck?
I did all day. I swear to you, all day yesterday.
Stop.
All day yesterday.
Stop.
Hold on, it's already going down.
All right, Alex.
No, I swear. Go ahead, Alex.
Whose roast beef place are you in front of today?
Nick's roast beef. South Philly staple. Otherwise, hole in the wall bar / roast beef kingdom. Paul, I think I got a picture up there. Maybe I can spur an argument with Abe because he's a Chicago beef guy.
Hang on.
Not the same thing.
Yes, more. This is more the same thing than because you compare cheesesteaks to Chicago beef. This is probably
I really don't. Chicago Italian beef is its own. I mean, look, the core ingredient's the same, but it's not the same type of sandwich.
Why not? What is the difference besides Chicago makes a salad out of everything?
There's no salad in Italian beef. You talking about?
Yeah, there's
No, there ain't. There's just giardiniera, and if you want hot peppers,
yeah,
that's it.
giardiniera. There's carrots. There's celery. It's salad.
That's if you want hot peppers.
Cabbage, right?
Salad sandwich.
No.
Same thing. A roast beef sandwich is closer to a Chicago Italian beef, essentially the same, than a cheesesteak is my argument. Cheesesteak's more,
It depends. I mean, if you get a cheesy beef, the cheesy beef is similar to a Philly cheesesteak, but it's all just in the seasoning of the beef and how the beef tastes. That's what it is. The beef tastes so different because of the au jus that they cook.
Well, that's the same thing as a roast beef sandwich rather than a
But
cheesesteak.
roast beef sandwich, it's unseasoned. It's really just beef.
No, it's not. It's in the juice. Look at the juice. It's all about the juice.
Yeah, huge difference in the flavors of the juice.
It's not. It's not.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You never even had an Italian beef sandwich.
I did. I had them fucking shitty salad.
Yeah, exactly. One that was
salad beets that you get
One that
here.
was made here in Delray Beach. Get the fuck out of here.
It's the same thing. He thinks the only place they cook it in gravy is in Chicago.
Go to
Lay a
Portillo's.
salad on top.
Go to Portillo's when you're in.
See that, Coop? Thank you, Coop. Even though I've been a little shaky on your shit since the beef
Oh,
jerky.
he said nope. Correction, you cannot.
Why can't what Coop? No, he's from fucking North Carolina.
Wow, you turned on a dime.
Absolutely.
I'm very echoey in here. I notice. I got to get some stuff going on the walls. Oh man, you know what? I've never had either. I've had plenty of Philly cheesesteaks. I've never had a beef, but I feel like I know where that place is.
No, you don't know where it is.
Place.
Listen, Portillo's is a famous place in Chicago. It literally started with like a little like doghouse looking hot dog stand. Well, it's like a multi-billion-dollar.
Yeah, I don't know the Chicago place. I'm saying Nick's. That's a place where you have to roll up your windows, right? It's a little shady over there.
Yeah.
Isn't all of South Philly? Isn't all of South Philly?
A little bit.
It's not because some spots of it are like where the hipsters are moving in now. So
Yeah, the Knicks is off the grid of the hipster movement. They haven't
there's
gentrified that area yet.
I could go for a roast beef sandwich. We've been starving ourselves for 4 months, and then since we moved in, we've just been like somebody sent us Lindberghers the other day, which it was good. I mean, I'm appreciative of it.
Limburgers is past his prime.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that great. I got a chicken sandwich too, by the way.
Third or fourth generation owners now, and whatever fifth maybe. It's just past its prime. It's one of those places.
Yeah.
There was one in Delray a while. I don't even know if it's still
The
there.
original was real good about probably 10, 15 years ago, but it's shot.
Where was it?
I think it's the one in Lake Worth.
Lake Worth.
It's the one we go to is in Wellington.
Yeah, that's a newer one.
Yeah, it is. It's new inside. It is what it is. It's a burger, but it's not. I had the chicken sandwich though, because I love a grilled chicken sandwich with bacon and tomato.
Burgers and orders a chicken sandwich.
Because I've had their burgers before and I wasn't super impressed, so I got a chicken sandwich. I think it was better.
He reminds me of Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel was coming up to visit one time, and true story, wanted to meet for lunch in Delray, and he said he was dying for good Italian food. Like, where can we go? I haven't had good Italian food, Abe. I need you to find me some Italian food. Okay, Rock, I'll find you some Italian food. So we go to Tremonti's. Alex, you're familiar with the place?
Absolutely.
Probably one of the better Italian restaurants in the area, especially in Delray.
Absolutely.
I make a lunch reservation. We get there. You know what this guy orders?
A Caesar salad.
Chicken fucking Caesar salad. I'm like, are you fucking serious? You made this big deal, made me drive all the way down to downtown Delray to meet you for lunch because you wanted Italian. You ordered a chicken Caesar salad.
That's why he's in shape.
True story.
True story.
I love a good chicken Caesar salad, though. There's nothing like a good with the house-made dressing, with the eggs and the anchovies in it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only differentiator with the Caesar salad for me is if it actually has real anchovies.
Yeah,
and the Parmesan
and the parm. Yeah, but other than that,
first off, for me, real anchovies are white anchovies, right? So that's a big differentiator for me. But I don't put any protein in a Caesar salad. Caesar salad should just be a Caesar salad.
Oh, see, no, I like chicken and anchovies, and I'll eat the black or the white. I like the white better because they're less.
And look, realistically, here's the thing: if you're eating a Caesar salad, you might as well just eat a Whopper because it's the same.
Same thing.
You're not saving any health
That's
points
true.
with a Caesar salad.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely not. It's not.
But the Parmesan makes a big difference because You go to Olive Garden, they don't use Parmigiano Reggiano like real Parmesan cheese. You know,
No, you
need,
gotta
like,
have
shaved.
the shaved. You gotta have
Oh.
the shaved.
Did you just say Olive Garden?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, they have a good salad. I don't like their food, but their salad is good. It's just not an Italian salad. You tell me you don't like the salad at Olive Garden.
I don't
The
know.
last,
think
the last time I went to Olive Garden
I don't
was
remember
at the
being.
University of Indiana, probably 30 years ago.
Yeah, I don't. No knock on Olive Garden.
The Olive Garden was the hot college hangout because for like $5 you can have all the breadsticks, soup, and salad. You can
Yeah.
That's
Hell
what
yeah,
we lived
man.
when we were in college. It's like, don't go to Olive Garden as an adult.
I still do that. I still do
I
that
haven't
now,
had
man.
Olive Garden, and I don't know. I don't think I've ever had. I don't know if I ever had Olive Garden.
We had it during the pandemic.
Granted, I mean, I've had Carrabba's fairly often.
Chrissy
Carrabba's is
Marissa works
different.
there.
Chrissy nailed it on the head. That's exactly what
That's very true. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's exactly what it is. And we
It's
don't
like it's like Domino's for pizza, right? Like that's not pizza. It's a different thing. I don't consider Domino's pizza.
It's like Chicago
But
for
it's good.
pizza.
Wow. I don't know. I agree with you, Alex, because a deep dish is not pizza to me, but I
Quiche.
love it.
Chicago pizza is quiche.
So just so you know, Chicago deep dish is its own entity. Chicago makes great thin crust pizza. You know, that's just what made us.
Yeah, they stole it. They stole it from the New Yorkers.
Oh yeah, because New Yorkers is where it was invented.
Yeah.
Where'd everybody come from when they came to New York? Come on, man. They brought it over. It started in New York. The American style pizza
This guy's
started
from
in New
fucking
York.
Philly. So what the fuck are you defending here?
He's right. I can't,
Beef King and whatever.
I mean, pizza, New York. Although probably Connecticut is
Hey,
the
cool.
capital.
Listen, Mr. Fast Food Junkie, McDonald's sells more hamburgers than anybody in the world, and I still wouldn't feed that shit to my kids.
What do you say? I didn't.
He's
not
right.
following.
And listen, I say it all the time, man. I mean, they sell more hamburgers than anybody, but God, they suck. The pickle they use on a McDonald's hamburger, I don't even think it's from this planet. It's some actual vegetable used.
Your kids never. I mean, it's like so rare that my kids have probably had McDonald's 3 times in their life.
I believe that my in-laws have taken my kids to McDonald's at one point or another, but my 2 oldest really don't want it. Like they don't even crave it. My kids have never even asked. Because I'll ask regularly, "What do you guys want to eat?" The word McDonald's never even comes out of their mouth because it just wasn't brainwashed and instilled in them as kids. They didn't get Happy Meals. They didn't get nuggets. They didn't get any of this stuff. I mean, we kind of grew up never making like nuggets and grilled cheese sandwich their staple foods, so
Alex and I are raising our children very differently.
Yeah, Carmine's a nugget guy.
Listen,
My boys are too, but they asked for Axel asked for Chick-fil-A if we get nuggets, but again, it's rare.
Alex will tell you, man, it's not just you guys. My kids have a lot of friends come over or, relatives. And most of these kids are that way. My wife will have arguments with Carmine, Alex's son, sometimes because, she'll serve some food. And he's like, "No, I ain't eating that." She's like, "Oh, yes, you are. You're going to eat it." And he will eat it for her.
How is it, Carmine? Is it good? Yeah. There's an aura of fear that surrounds Brandy and children.
He's a smart boy.
I'll eat whatever you serve. Oh, it's good. Yeah.
I do. I see it when he walks into my house. It's like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably
somebody a little bit different when he's around my wife, but then again, so do I. Shit.
Right.
Yeah, I get all classy when I'm around your wife. She just demands that kind of aura.
What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Anything?
I'm going up to Charleston to my father-in-law's house.
Oh, no Disneyland trip?
No, we don't go during the holidays. That's for amateurs, man. And I also, you know what? I'm a firm believer in this. I worked in retail. My wife worked in restaurants. I really don't like to perpetuate that whole thing of making people work on a holiday. So I don't like to go like resorts or go to like restaurants on like actual holidays. Like, like Thanksgiving, have Thanksgiving dinner out somewhere. I don't know. I feel guilty about it that they're not home with their families. I
mean, they're working anyway.
It's true, but I don't want to like add to the reason why they have to be there. I guess
you don't want to add to their tip.
You don't want to make it more profitable for them. Yeah, they're already out working.
They're there anyway.
The logic and reasoning of your mind just never ceases to amaze.
I just don't like to contribute. I don't know.
I'm going out of town for the first time in my whole life. I'm not having a
Really?
you know what, dude? We're all tired. I'm tired. My wife's tired. And this whole Thanksgiving thing of people slaving for 2 days, all the ruckus in the house, and then we cook this meal that's over like in 10 minutes, and then we're eating food for 3 days leftovers. It's just like, I just told my wife, let's just go somewhere. Let's go have like a staycation. So believe it or not, in the 25 years I've been in Florida, I've never been to St. Augustine. So,
it's so great. You'll love
never
it.
been there, oddly enough. So Wednesday we're loading up the kids, and we're just going to St. Augustine through the weekend.
Do you know where you're gonna? Do you have like plans to go places, or do you want? Because Stephanie will reach out to Brandy and give her a couple places you should go with the kids.
She can, but I mean, like literally, we made. And normally, my wife will tell you because I've had to tone it down because I was a little too militant. But like when I go on vacation, like everything is planned out.
Yeah, that's Stephanie.
Meals, what we're doing on what day. It's like a whole itinerary of shit. I'll do research like for weeks before we go anywhere. I didn't do nothing. All I've got is a place to stay, and I figure every day we'll wake up and say, what do we want to do today, and that's it. Just want to relax. I need 4 days just to not think about anything. The hell is that?
Trying to put it. That's a turkey. That's the turkey from South Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a great timing.
We were talking about Thanksgiving. All right, we have a packed show today.
Yeah, we haven't had one in a while, so we have a special
KMA spotlight.
KMA feature spotlight. Let's run that out real quick.
So today it is our honor. It is our honor to have Nimish Desai from Rocky Patel Premium Cigars here with us today. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I do want to set the record straight. When you're talking about Italian beef or cheesesteak, if your waist is under 40, you have no opinion.
Tell him.
You have zero opinion. All right.
Tell him.
Secondly,
Not that. Wait a minute.
Wait. Let me explain.
Go ahead.
It's all about the au jus, the flavors in the au jus, and not only the Italian beef. When you put that sausage right in the middle, that Italian sausage.
That's called a combo. That's called a combo. That's an Italian combo when you slip in the hot Italian sausage in the middle of the mounds of Italian beef, and then we
don't use cheese whiz. Who uses? No, children uses cheese.
They use provolone or mozzarella.
That's it,
right? So then you get a cheesy combo, which is then you get the Italian beef with the hot sausage slid in.
That sounds good.
Wait, they throw the provolone on top, and if you're a pro, you tell them to dip it because then they take that whole sandwich and they dip it all in the au jus, and it comes out dripping everywhere, and the hot gravy instantly melts the cheese, which gets into the bread. Dude, it's a whole different universe. Tell them.
You've never had a see. This is my problem here. You know, these Midwesterners, they just always have to. It's like they got to compensate. We got to throw extra. The fuck, I need a sausage in a roast beef sandwich. Why do I need a garden salad on top of a fucking hot
garden salad?
Listen, pal. It's just different levels of manliness. Just because
it's just extra shit.
Don't feel left out, bro.
Manliness.
Yeah.
When you have tomato and fucking
a sandwich.
A tomato and mutant green relish on my hot dog.
It's good. It's got flavor.
It is good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I saw him scarf down two really fucking quick the other week.
I'm not gonna say I don't love a Chicago Joe, but
you cannot get crispy pizza in New York. It's thin, but it's soggy. There is no.
I went to Joe's in Soho, famous place called Joe's.
Yeah, what's and where's my picture, Paul?
Who pulled that picture?
Yeah, Paul? Who pulled that?
Look at that thing.
Such a scumbag.
Look at that thing. Look at that. Where's
not
the
a sandwich? Get the fuck out of here.
That's a dipped Chicago combo.
No, that was Philly's already at a dip combo. That was Philadelphia's attempt. They don't know how to do it right.
Listen,
puny sandwich.
Listen, I don't care what city you're from. The moment that you accept cheese whiz on any sandwich automatically disqualifies it from any kind of like awesome food. That's a fact. I don't care.
I'm not
there you go.
Guy.
Speak English when you're making a sandwich.
What is that?
I don't
know. Pork.
Speak English.
No, it's Italian beef.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good. It's all right.
should
There's no mystery to it.
When we went to JC Newman's factory, I should have found where the Portillo was and taken you guys there.
Ooh.
There's
Well,
one
hopefully
there.
we'll go back.
All right, so listen, let's not waste time. I know my man hopped to somewhere. Nimish, you got 2 new cigars that dropped recently. One really recent, like this last week. The Rocky Patel Disciple and the Rocky Patel White. I hope Paul's got some pictures, but why don't you tell us a little bit about each new line?
Sure. Let me tell you. First, we'll start with the white label. The white label is actually a true Connecticut from Connecticut River Valley wrapper. It's got Honduran and Dominican tobaccos in it, so it's a mild, a little stronger than mild maybe cigar. It's got a lot of sweetness to it. It's got some caramel notes to it. It's something that I smoke in the morning, right? It's an entry cigar for a lot of people, but it's got a lot of depth and a lot of richness and a lot of complexity behind it. And I will tell you what, those boxes were a pain in the butt to get to the United States of America, but we got them here. We just started shipping those last week, so call your local brick and mortar. Abe's going to have a great deal on them, and I think you guys will enjoy that. It's a great cigar.
So can the journalistics part of me ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so was there not any reservations or any concerns in calling this cigar white label?
Absolutely not. I mean, you cannot trademark the word.
I didn't say it was trademarked. I'm just saying, look, between you and I'm just curious. It's kind of an industry thing that, there's been another brand that kind of has used that term now for a few decades. Was there any thought about that, or just?
Look, I'm not going to lie. There was definitely a little thought about it, but that wasn't our intent. We're going to go after these guys with that. It was just.
Did they reach out to you at all, or no?
Curious. No, absolutely no. Yeah, buying and passing at festivals and stuff like that, jokingly, but nothing as their legal team to our team or anything like that.
And those are literally hitting stores this week. What's the price range on that cigar?
It's from $19 to $22 a stick. It comes in Robusto, Toro, Churchill, and 6x60 boxes of 20. And I think we started shipping them earlier this week.
Yep. And tell us about the Disciple.
So the Disciple is probably my favorite new release right now that we've come out with this year for the trade show. That's got the San Andreas wrapper on it. It's got a binder from Ecuador, and it's got Honduran and Nicaraguan tobaccos. In my opinion, that cigar is medium to full. It's probably the strongest cigar we make, but it's rich, well balanced. It's like a spice bomb with dark chocolate notes. It's got a little molasses to it. I'm giving you my version of what the media would say, but I just love that cigar. It's a manly cigar. It's meaty. I could put that right in the middle of my Italian.
Italian combo. There you go.
Could do that with your cheesesteak, but you could put that right in the middle of an Italian beef and make that a combo, brother.
Listen, when the two heaviest guys on the screen talk about a sandwich in the same light, it has to hold merit, right? You lightweight.
It holds merit, dude.
Is that true, or does that mean you'll just put anything in your mouth because you're hungry all the time? Maybe Alex and I are more selective.
You know what I mean?
I am a very selective eater. I don't mind being overweight, but if I'm going to be overweight, it's going to be some damn good food.
Right, I agree with you.
I don't like throwing garbage.
I don't know. You catch Abe here at 6:30 at night when he hasn't eaten since the night before because he's a lunatic.
Right.
Shove whatever's around down his throat.
I've literally been here like 8 o'clock at night. I haven't eaten. I'll start scrounging through people's offices what food they got. I literally got food here. I need some.
We didn't get this big eating healthy all the time now. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
But Abe, I do have a request for you guys. So I see like all these beasts on the show. We're missing some beauty. I would love for your wife, Lady B. We're going to call her Lady B one day to co-host the show.
You talk to her, man. I can't even put a picture of her on Facebook. She is not.
I'm going to talk to her.
Yeah.
You might be able to convince her because we've mentioned it before that we'd love to have her on.
I think it would be.
I don't know.
We definitely would have some beauty finally on the show again.
Yeah, no lie there. Shit.
Absolutely.
No, she's tough. So listen,
That's a tall
fans,
order.
it's part of our spotlight feature, and thanks, Nimish, for coming on talking about your 2 new lines. We got a special promo for all our KMA fans for this weekend only, today and tomorrow. If you go to smoking.com, use the code Rocky15, and you will get 15% off either Disciple or white label line. That's Rocky15. And I think William Cooper commented in here that white label, I think he said worth every cent. And there you have it from William. Did I see a 60 float across the screen?
All right, gentlemen, have a great show. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
All right, bye.
And that is our spotlight feature for KMA Talk Radio on this Saturday morning. So I don't think we really need to wait any time. Should we just get our main guest on?
Yeah, get him on. He's a beef pork type guy. He'll start arguing with us.
I'd like to call him a worldly guy. He's been around the block a few times, so let's get his opinion.
Does he get an intro?
Why not?
I'm just asking. Last week he gave me a hard time.
Give him one.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
It's time to meet your maker.
Wow.
The master.
This is cool.
Himself. Welcome, Eric Guttormson.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
For you,
There he is.
I will say Guttormson.
Thank you. Very nice.
I was going to say, do you want somebody to say your name the right way?
Listen,
Yeah.
at this point, it's an affectionate term. I don't know. I don't feel right if I don't say Guttormson because that's
Yeah.
been for a decade now. I know it's Guttormson.
Oh my goodness.
Good morning and early morning it is for you, sir.
Yeah, it's a little early here.
That's right.
Mountain time, but and just enjoying the chat and the watching you guys and chatting along. So
Smoking in homage to the Dojo verse.
very nice. Me too. Yeah. You got the Ninjaragu, I got the deluxe.
Deluxe.
So that goes way back.
So you heard our sandwich stories. Have you had the
Yeah.
privilege of having an Italian beef sandwich, a good Italian beef sandwich?
You know, that's one that I don't have much experience with.
It's eluded you. Okay.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, our buddy Coop, he turned me on to that John's Pork Roast in Philly, and that place is amazing. Amazing.
Good old John's roast pork.
Oh, yeah. That place is...
But see, here's the argument. No one's taking anything away from a good Philly cheesesteak or a
Sure.
pork sandwich. It's its own. But Italian beef is not a comparable sandwich. It's just Alex has this thing where everything has
An Italian beef is absolutely comparable sandwich to a roast beef sandwich in Philly. Same thing. Everything you say is the same thing, minus the extras. The
other than
compensating.
it tastes completely different.
It doesn't taste completely. You never had one. How do you know it tastes
I
completely?
have had one. I've been in Philly like 5 times.
Oh, so you've been to Nick's roast beef?
Listen to me.
You ain't been to Nick's roast beef.
I'll tell you this. You know who took me around eating everywhere in Philly? Eric.
I hope it.
He took me to every
no,
fucking.
no,
Oh.
The Cuban.
You don't know.
If you were going to say Renzulli, I'd have gave you a little credit. But Eric Espinosa
Come
took
on.
you around.
Anthony was with us.
Where'd you go?
I can't remember the name.
Because
of the
there's
place.
no roast beef place in his. He's
No,
Gino's
we had
Pack.
it in the car. No, we got in the car. I went with them. I was there with the whole weekend. We went out.
You got in the car.
Yeah, we had
How long it take you to park?
Actually, it's kind of funny over there, man. It's
Well, Anthony just gets what's his name,
yeah.
Charlie, or I forget
Yeah.
the guy's name. I parked the car for him.
Oh, he's the neighborhood guy that gets that's great, man. I had friends that did that down in the village. There was a guy that would just like on Seinfeld. That really happened. People would park cars for you,
no,
park
they
cars for you, and move them to
They
alternate
literally
sides.
did that. We pulled up, and he called one of his customers out, and they took our car, and we didn't know where they took it, and we just walked in.
Yeah.
Literally. So, Eric, where do you want to start? You want to
well, I can tell you this: in Colorado, we have pork green chili, and that beats all of those. That beats all those food items. Pork
Cold
green
green chili.
No, pork green chili. There's,
Hold on,
it's
I'm looking it
crazy.
up.
There's only 2 places that know how to make it, and that's Colorado and New Mexico. You can't find it
And what is pork green
anywhere
chili?
else.
Yeah. Give
What
us
is pork?
the breakdown.
So it's it's
Cool.
basically
Cool
a gravy.
chili.
It's a gravy for Mexican food, but it is heavy on the tomato and pork. And so here's the crazy thing: if you get pork green chili and it's green, it's the wrong thing. Pork green chili is sort of a reddish color because of the tomato in it, and it's spicy. It's loaded up on pork. You put it on a burrito.
It's a condiment.
this one's
or a
wrong.
food?
That is not. I don't even know what that is. That might be.
That's
That
what
could
came up.
be-
I swear.
Yeah. Well.
Is this a condiment?
No. This is this is a sauce. Like you could
Sauce is a condiment.
you could put it in a bowl and literally eat it like a soup if you wanted to. And a lot of people do that. You can just order a bowl of pork green
Just a
chili.
bowl and like tortilla it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's incredible.
How about all right? This looks like it's the real deal right here.
Yeah, you
All
grab
right.
shit pictures, Coop.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I've never even heard of this. I mean,
Well,
I've been to
see?
Colorado once, so
I know that's the crazy thing. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why. I've been to Texas. They don't know what it is. I've been to California. They don't know what it is.
huh?
Arizona. They don't know what it is.
It's
Only
really-
2 states.
It's really funny until you really start traveling a lot. But when I first moved to Florida, first off, I was in shock when everybody laughed because I called soda pop, right?
Mm.
And I,
Well, I would too.
it took
I
me
would
many.
go
It took me many years to get over that, and now I do definitely just call it soda. Pop doesn't even sound. When I go to Chicago and I hear the word pop, it doesn't even sound normal to me anymore. And then when I would talk about certain foods, like Italian beef, like, and mind you, I'm in a shop full of Italians, like from New York, and like, what's Italian beef? How do you know what Italian beef is? You're Italian. I didn't know it wasn't a cultural thing. I thought it was a Chicago cultural thing. I had no idea. But it's funny because you don't realize that when you're growing up, and then you start realizing, wow, it's things that are so common everywhere.
See, if you have to add the name Italian to it, it's probably not made by Italians.
Dude, it's all Italian. I mean, like,
Then it would have just been a beef.
Portillo.
A beef. If it's an Italian beef, that means some.
It's what the Italians did when
It's
they
like a
came to
Philly
Chicago. What do
cheesesteak. They don't
you
call a Philly cheesesteak in Philly. It's just a cheesesteak.
Well, they
Yeah,
call it-
you're
call it
outnumbered
a
on the
beef
show,
Chicago.
Abe, because we're all
Beef, right.
Italians. So
Yeah, that's true.
3
That's true.
Italians. Yeah.
It's funny when I moved down here, but when I married my wife, when you guys have grilled Alex, when you have grilled cheese, do you have like yellow cheese on bread, or do you have like mozzarella and carotes, like with mozzarella and the Parmesan and?
Well, let's see. I'm 39. Probably haven't had a grilled cheese in like 27 years, Paul.
Oh no! Come over my house late night. We make them, but we do like when I really want a grilled cheese. I make what my family calls mozzarella and carotes, where it's like buttered bread that you fry up, and then you put shaved Parmesan and you put fresh mozzarella in there, and you squish it up together. It's the best thing ever. That's a grilled cheese to me.
That sounds delicious.
Oh, it's so good, especially after a night of doing a couple of drinks or something.
I was never a yellow cheese guy.
Yeah, as I've gotten older, there's something about it, and there's no natural yellow cheese, right?
American
that's
cheese
all
is not
dyed?
even cheese, right?
Yeah.
Yellow cheese.
Yeah, it's very strange. But Eric, you guys, you've been pretty busy out there in the dojo verse. But I kind of want to. I mean, unless Abe wants to change it, but we've never like sat down and talked to you about like how this whole thing came up. Because Abe talks about finding you and how when he first found you, he was like, "Oh my God, these guys are friggin' huge! Like, why don't we know them? Why aren't we getting involved with them?" It turns out at the time you weren't huge.
Those were the awesome days before Paul was our producer.
Yeah, but I kind of want to talk about like your inspiration for why and how this started. Obviously, you were a cigar guy before, I'm assuming.
Not for that much longer, to be honest. Like I'm kind of one of those guys that I get into something and I go all out, like just go crazy. And cigars were one of those things that I just went all out. I loved the culture. I loved the hobby. I loved everything about it. And so we started a website, and it was basically just for fun. It was called quickcigarreviews.com. And the whole idea was like, I read all these cigar reviews. They're long. I just want to find out what they think, And so like, that was my idea.
Right.
I just wanted this boom, 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 quickie stuff.
Like this one's good. This one's okay. This one's great. A little bit of detail, but
because I'm lazy, basically. But so we started that, and me and Jordan, and it caught on. Like it actually started catching some traction pretty quickly. But I didn't like the whole quick cigar reviews thing. So we wanted to rebrand it, and I have a lot of experience with like online communities, and so I wanted to add that aspect to it. So we were thinking like, how can we make this kind of like a community sort of a thing? And Jordan actually came up with Cigar Dojo. So we redid the website. We decided to make the reviews a little bit more, extensive, a little bit more serious. And then about 6 months later, we did the app, which made everything really explode. And so for years and years and years, we had the app and the website until Apple decided to whack all tobacco apps, which we actually I actually sweet talked the Apple chick. I did. I sweet talked the Apple chick into letting us stay for a whole year and a half in the App Store when none of the other tobacco apps were there.
I need to hear
Yeah, because I remember you came back.
It was like just as Dojo, right? You took out the cigar and you kind of
right, exactly.
You lived an extra year.
I need to hear how the sweet talk conversation. Sweet talk conversation went.
It was
an Apple administrative person that allows you to keep a site on for an extra year plus.
It was some of my best work, Abe. Just say that. I'm gonna say that right now.
I mean, listen, just kudos to him for just getting somebody on the phone. I mean,
No, I mean, our app was fairly. I mean, it was small in comparison to obviously the big guys, but for an app, we were somewhat significant. We had a lot of downloads and whatnot. And so actually, when I went to IPCPR one year, the Friday I got there is when I found out that they were taking our app down. So it was really bad timing because here I am, at IPCPR. I can't really do anything about it. So when I got back from Vegas, I got a hold of the Apple people, and there's a lady that was in charge of this kind of topic. And I was like, look, I was like, you don't understand. I was like, this is like my livelihood. Like, this is the way I pay my mortgage, and I've got, children to feed and da 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 da. And I was like, everything that we're doing is legal and all this sort of stuff. And so by the end of the conversation, to make a long story short, she was like, hey, we'll let you guys stay in the App Store for a while, or at the time she said indefinitely. And so but the thing was, we could never change or update the app, right?
Oh wow.
So it was the way it was, and we were like right at the beginning stages of adding some really cool development to the app, some more like cigar centric stuff. Yeah. So we're stuck, and so we knew at that point that we had to pivot, right? And that's when we started developing the Dojoverse, and last July basically is when we opened that. And so now we're no longer in app stores or anything like that. It's just a progressive web app. You get on it on your phone, you can save it to your desktop, and it functions just like an app. No more Apple, no more Google, no more worrying about how they feel about tobacco or cigars or anything else. So that's the quickie summarized version of how all that went down.
But had you smoked cigars on any kind of regular basis before any of this? Like, what made you? I know the personality right away, right? Like, I find something, I think it's cool, and then you get into it. I have a lot of buddies like that. Like, one day they see somebody that has a pet snake, and then the next day I come to their house and they have a whole terrarium and everything built. That was my old roommate.
It was just a couple years, to be honest. It was just a couple years. So, yeah, I when I was a young adult, I smoked cigarettes or whatever. Me and April, we both smoked. And when she got pregnant with Jordan, she just instantly quit, right? Just instantly. And I had a harder time quitting. Like, it took me a long time, and it was very difficult to quit for me. So when I did that, like tobacco, that was it. I was never going to ever touch tobacco again. So, this in our family, like cigars, cigarettes, whatever, that was just like, no, that's like something nobody does, And, I was on a trip in Vegas with Jordan and Dominic, my sons, and we went into Casa Fuente, and they were getting cigars, and I was like, all right, I'll have a cigar with you guys. We're in Vegas, it'll be fun. And that was it, man. I was like, you know what? I get this. This is not just like sneaking out of the workplace for 15 minutes to have get a quick nicotine buzz.
Right. Get your fix. Right.
Yeah. This is something unique and different. And when I got back to Colorado, I went to a cigar lounge, and I had a Padron 1964 Imperial, and that thing was so good. And I was like, oh man, like I so get this now. I so understand it. Now, my wife was like, I don't know what you're doing, Eric. You have a midlife crisis or whatever it is. But so yeah, I just really liked it. And then I wanted to know everything I could know about it. I just started soaking it all in, reading every article, following on the forums and whatnot. And next thing you know, I was, I still to this day, I I'm sort of shocked that it all turned into an actual sort of business and everything. But yeah, it's just one of those deals. I just jump in both feet and I can't stop myself.
And what a long way you've
That's
come.
a pretty cool story. Yeah.
What a long way you've come.
Yeah, and Abe was one of the first guys that sort of recognized us and got me on the show and got me in. I was like, wow, like I want to be on this, like, it's a cigar radio show. Like, this is crazy.
Well, it was funny because in the early days of KMA, we had this episode called The Blogger's Corner, right?
Right.
I just wanted to stay out of, talking about cigars in a review fashion. It's never been my forte nor my, my stick. And I remember coming across this site. And, I have a little graphic and art background. So I'm looking at the site like, wow, these guys got an awesome looking site. I thought like they'd been around for like years and years and years. And I had stumbled literally across the site on accident after he'd been up for like 2 months. So we had this thing where we probably had maybe 8 or 10 different social media guys who would come on the radio show. And you got to remember back then we were all audio. Right, so there was no video when we first started.
Oh yeah, and getting some of these guys on the air.
No, they all got on the air, but then what you realize is, a lot of them wrote really, really, really good reviews, but couldn't talk. Right? They'd get all nervous, or they wouldn't. If you had to try to have a conversation, so it quickly got weaned down to about 2 or 3 guys that we would have on regularly. Of course, Eric was one of them. Easy talker. We would have a great thing. And it's really funny is because I don't know how long it was before I actually eventually saw a picture of Eric Guttormson. So when I talked to him the first couple of times, and no one's gonna get this because now everybody's seen him and they already have their mental image, but I'm talking to this guy, he's like, yeah, well, in my head I'm thinking I'm talking to a 20-year-old guy. Right, I'm thinking I'm talking to this young, up and whatever. He's into tech savvy, made a good website. He's into cigar culture, and I'm thinking like this is a guy in his 20s, maybe real young. But I find out the guy's got kids and grown kids and whatever. I was like blown away. And what's funny is this generation will never know that feeling of communicating with people for a long time before you ever get to see what they look like.
Abe, I don't really like the way this conversation is going.
I thought I was talking to a kid. I'm talking to an old man.
Yeah.
Listen to me, because if you close your eyes and you listen to him, Eric sounds like a very young guy.
He has a very youthful aura.
But then when you open your eyes,
well, listen. To your testament, you weren't that gray back then.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You were not that gray. But I'm thinking I'm thinking he's a young man, and I find out this guy's got grown children and married and whatever. It was such a completely different elevation than what mentally I expected in my brain.
Oh well, I appreciate that. I guess that makes I'm not too over the hill just yet. Got a few.
I guess that's a compliment.
Yeah, a few more years left.
It wasn't a compliment or insult. It was just the way it went down. And look, we've developed a wonderful friendship and a long-term relationship, and we've had the fun and pleasure of doing a lot of projects over the years. And Eric and I will bounce ideas off each other. I'll call him up with something many times, or he'll call me up, in some of his early phases of something to say, what do you think? And then it's been a very fun and good friendship. And I appreciate the friendship. Thank you, sir.
No, yeah. I mean, hey, and a lot of this, is directly related to you, Abe. I mean, the Dogma that got put together because of you, because you called me that day and said, like, you want to do a cigar? Let's do it. Who do you want to do it with? You just name the guy. So I said Jonathan Drew, and you got him on the phone. And the next thing we knew, we were starting that project. And a year later, the Dogma was born, which is, how do you top that? That's your first cigar project? Is
not only your first cigar project. I remember because there were some shipping issues. They didn't make the timeline. I think we got it like in 3 installments.
Right.
The first time around, it came in 3 installments, and each time it sold out like in 30 minutes. So I think the overall run was 600 or 800.
Right.
Did you at all? I mean, I'm just curious because I don't think we've ever really talked about it. Did you ever envision that first release being that way? Because that thing kind of like became a historical release,
Yeah.
exclusive single store, single project release. It's probably one of the bigger ones in the history of this industry.
That's the weird thing, Abe, is like when it finally came to be. And by the way, that it was a year to the day. I remember it was a year to the day that cigar released, was a year to the day that we started talking about the project. So it took a whole year, and we had never, obviously we'd never done that, and we had a very large community, obviously, at the time. So I knew that there was going to be a lot of dojo guys that were gonna buy this, but you don't really know, are they gonna spend their $100 on this or not? You don't really know. And I remember thinking that day, the very first day, because I think the first day we had like 200 bundles for sale, something like that, at Smoke Inn. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, like if 50 of these sell today, like that would be pretty good. I'll bet that would be 50. That's a lot of money. You times that. And then they just went in like an hour or whatever it was, and we were just blown away. And then when the next shipment came in, it was like 400 or something, and we did it on a Wednesday night, and it was even faster then because the kind of word had got out, word had spread out to outside of the dojo people, the dojo community. And so, man, that second time around, I mean, they just flew. I remember you guys stayed up all night shipping all those the same night so guys could get them in a couple days. But I was shocked, Dave. I really was, I have to say.
And I'll tell you what's a bigger testament to that. And this is something that people don't realize. And I think I've seen it probably maybe 3 of our releases where it was that big, or any release, whether it's ours or one of yours. That's a very hard thing to do on a blend that hasn't been out before. Now our Red Meat Lovers Club, this is its 4th rendition. It's just coming out now. So it's had the track record of now 4 years in a row coming out. So to do a couple thousand on a release is not that hard because it's built that following. But when you're releasing a blend or a brand, and now that I think we're on microblend number 17 now, maybe, or whatever, we have a history, so we have a little track record, and we've been very successful. And I think really none of them have ever been known to be like dogs. So we have but this was like a first release. You guys had never done it. Nobody knew nothing about you, and for it to have gone like that is a testament to the culture that you'd already developed and built by that time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You don't know for sure what's going to happen until you do it that first time. And then, after that, then you start to get a feel for, okay, like, people really do, like these types of projects. And so then you can kind of gear it for that. But that first time, yeah, no doubt, Abe, I was nervous. I didn't know, like, I really had no clue how it was going to go down, and could have never dreamed that it would have gone as well as it did.
And it started this whole succession of doing this with everyone, basically. I mean, it's hard to name a manufacturer that you probably haven't worked with at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've done several with a few of our favorite guys that really work with us a lot and whatnot. But yeah, we've done, we've ran the gamut with a bunch of different manufacturers. And
who's on your hit list that you haven't been able to get yet?
I bug Pete Johnson all the time, and on one of my
listen. I'm just telling you, you just got to get the day where the moon and the stars and all the planets are aligned just right. And if you can get Pete on that day, it could happen.
I remember on one of our shows, Pete was on, and I kind of cornered him, and he was like, yeah, you know what? I think this is the time. We need to go ahead and do this. And then the stars, Abe, as you said, just didn't fully align. So it never came to be. But who knows? You never know.
Pete, you can't imagine probably how many, and all these guys in the caliber of Pete, how many requests they get. It's just, and I go into every time when I'm asking to work on a project, it's not always a yes.
Yeah.
I've been trying to talk one specific manufacturer who we've had a relationship with very, very well. We've done a couple of projects with them, but I had this great idea, and Alex knows what it is, and I've been tweaking it, hinting it. Every time I see him, I nudge it, You know, I keep joking. I said, you know, if you were really great, you would have made this happen by now. You know, I mean,
call him out.
no, I don't want to call him out.
It's
I
not
want
one of those
the
guys
I want
we
the
can do.
project to happen.
Right,
But,
right.
you know, and honestly, in his defense, at this point, it's not even like, I mean, I thought of this project in the last year and a half, maybe. So it's not even like they don't want it. It's just all these kind of projects are really tough on manufacturers right now. You know, they're trying to get their own production out and their own lines out. So, I mean, anybody who's really doing a project for you in this time is really coming through for you because it's not easy right now.
No, yeah, no doubt.
Anybody else other than Pete on your wish list?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've got a few, but I don't want to say them because
You don't want to stir the pot.
I don't want to stir the pot. Plus, a couple of them are kind of like on the fence and stuff. So, yeah,
you don't want to pressure them out of the equation.
Yeah, but we've got a bunch lined up already for next year, of course, and so that's exciting. One,
Actually, nothing.
Oh, one of them's with somebody that we haven't done anything with yet. So that'll be exciting, and it's one of my favorites. So we're looking forward to that. And then we've got a couple other. You know, it's kind of a big year for us next year, so we've got a couple cool things lined up for cigars, being our 10th anniversary and all.
Jason, they did Far Eastern Standard. Actually, we were the store that released it. Jason Skurbitz was asking a question. They did work with Robert Caldwell.
Yeah, we did the Far Eastern Standard. We released that at Smoke Inn. I was down there for that release. We had a blast.
It sold out during the release.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be shocked. I'll tell you, some of these, I tell you, like, you know, I was like, I wasn't sure. I'm going to be honest. I really wasn't sure about that one. And sure enough, man, the Dojo Nation just like jumped on it.
Yeah, that's one of the few I haven't smoked because I had to work West Palm that night, and when all said and done, it was gone. It was over.
I think there might be one or some in there. I think.
That was
I'll
a
take you off the
Lancero.
screen,
Yeah, it was a Lancero, right?
And Abe was like, I remember talking to you, Abe. You're like, I don't know, man. Lanceros, they don't sell very well. You sure about this? And it's like, well, we haven't done one yet, and this blend is really, really good. And so we went for it.
Lanceros is such a funny thing because everybody loves them, but nobody wants to really buy them.
Alex who's now had 3 years or 4 years experience in on the retail floor will tell you how many people are buying Lanceros in the store.
Not many.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's one of those weird phenomenons.
Who did we have on last week? He said from
Queen's Pearl.
The Queen's Pearl Lancero.
Yeah. And he said that's one of his favorite sizes to smoke is Lancero.
It's an excellent. Everybody, but people will smoke a Lancero. I don't see a lot of people coming and grabbing a box of Lanceros to buy the box.
Right.
That's a fair comment too.
That's a good point. Nobody's really buying boxes of Lanceros. It is probably in a lot of people's rotation of I'll have a Lancero here or a Lancero there, but no one's like I buy a box of Lanceros every week. I've never met that person yet.
Right. I can probably count on two hands the amount of Lanceros I've ever smoked, and I don't think I purchased any of them. I think
you only have 2 hands. How many more hands do you want to count on?
But I'm saying it's under 10.
Yeah, but Paul, if you get a well rolled and a good Lancero that you don't have to light 10,000 times, it's all wrapper. You're smoking all wrapper in that Lancero, so it's
that's the key. Is a
flavor
a well constructed Lancero.
Right.
That's the key.
Alex, I have bad news for you. I'm sort of cheating on. It's almost like cheating on my girlfriend here. I'm drinking.
What is this? What's funny? I was actually going to run to the store this morning to try and get somebody. I knew it wouldn't be cold in time for the show.
I want to make the rainwater cigar. I'm just calling dibs on it now before you go somewhere else with
it. It's crazy. There's been like a Topo Chico shortage here in Colorado, man.
There has been.
You caused it.
I know. Dang it. What was I thinking? I should have kept it a secret all those years.
I'll tell you, it caught fire in the Smoking Social group. Really, the first time I was introduced to even knowing what it was, I think we were hanging out, sitting here after the Taser release.
Yeah, right.
Everybody was raving over.
I had seen Eric talk about it for like
Yeah,
ever,
but we had an in-depth, talk. I was like, and they were telling this story about how like Randy raided the back of a Walmart for Topo Chico. I said, all right, so I guess I got.
So you had never had Topo Chico?
No, there's no Topo Chico in Philly.
Really? Oh, it's all over New York. I mean,
maybe there is. I don't know.
I never even heard of it until I saw Eric drinking it. And I thought it was a Colorado thing. I didn't even realize it until Alex starts walking in with it here. I'm like, oh, they sell that here? I'd never.
Yeah, we've been drinking it for years, and I mean, back home, everybody always had it. But I gotta say, I still lean more towards Pellegrino.
Oh, no, that's absurd. That's absurd.
That is
Topo
absurd.
Chico is a direct descendant of Willy Wonka's fizzy lifting drink.
It's too carbonated for me. I like to open it and let it get
the point.
Less carbonated.
I
like lighter carbonation.
One night in the studio, we get a studio audience here. It's not very big, but we get like 5, 6, 7 guys hanging out smoking cigars, and we decided this is way, way back, like before like the Topo Chico craze or whatever. And we decided to do this whole big blind, sparkling mineral water test. And so we blind tasted. It was like 6 or 7 mineral waters, and there was like 6 or 7 guys doing this. And the Pellegrino was in there. I forget. There was all the biggies, right? Perrier was in there. Whatever. Every single guy, I kid you not, every single guy picked Topo Chico #1. There was not one. It was unanimous, man. So there's something to it. It's good. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's hypercarbonated.
It is hypercarbonated.
Hypercarbonated. All right, listen, we got to take a quick little break. We're gonna have more with Master Sensei himself, Eric Guttormson.
Close
Eric
enough.
Guttormson from Cigar Dojo. Also in hour 2, we have As the Record Spins, our segment from Avo Cigars. Our friend Eddie Guerra has a question just for you. And in hour 2, this is week number 6, 5.
It's number. I don't know. It's
well,
number 5. Number 5 this week.
Wheel of the Tape, season 3, best mafia movies of all time. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll be back. Keep it lit.
Surgeon General warning: cigar smoking can cause lung cancer and heart disease. Currently available at your favorite cigar store, the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua is another fantastic collaboration between AJ Fernandez and Rafael Nadal. Landing a #1 cigar of the year of 2020 by Cigar and Spirits magazine, the Reserva Real Nicaragua is handcrafted at Tabacalera AJ Fernandez. This Nicaraguan Puro is a medium to full-body cigar that is packed to the brim with flavor notes of leather, coffee, and red pepper, which pairs nicely with a spiced rum. Available in 4 sizes, Romeo y Julieta return to prestigious form with the Reserva Real Nicaragua that should be enjoyed by all.
Oh, it's just you. Who doesn't love a shower sip of a good glass of wine? And our friends over at KMAWines.com, they have some great wines from Bono Private Wines, like this Sunal from the winery that's up 8,950 feet in the air, one of the 3rd largest vineyards in the entire world. We work so hard. You gotta relax. You gotta enjoy the finer things in life. A great cigar, a really, really great wine to pair it with, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So check out KMAWines.com. You get a discount because we know each other. We're buds. We're pals. You get a discount on shipping. You get a discount on products. KMAWines.com, and tell them that Paul and Abe sent you. I'm going to be late back to the show while I finish this and finish the shower. So see you at KMAWines.com. Yes.
Honest Abe here, smoking cigars. It's that time of year again, the Great Smoke. For over a decade and a half, we've been hosting one of the country's biggest cigar bashes, where aficionados from all over the world would trek to South Florida for a 4-day extravaganza. In 2019, we themed our event for the first time, 70s disco, Can You Dig It? And it was one of the biggest events we ever had, and we look forward to the very next one. Unfortunately, the world was hit by a pandemic, and cigar events and functions were being canceled all over the country. Our team was poised with the question, what do we do? Do we cancel the event? Do we do a half-cocked event and just get by? No. Instead, we put on our thinking caps and put on one of the most epic 7-hour virtual events that was enjoyed by thousands and viewed by tens of thousands of people all over the world. Our event in 2021, the digital experience, forever changed how these types of events will be done. So this year, for the first time in 2022, the Great Smoke, the last luau, will be both an in-live and virtual event experience. We had hundreds of people who contacted us early this year telling us how much they enjoyed our virtual event this year, how they had never participated in one of these mega events because they were unable to take time off for work and travel and come down. So this year we're going out of our way so that people can enjoy the event in their own home as they did earlier this year and also do it in live. Michael Herklotz of Ferriotego Cigars and Kim Keeney will be returning in 2022 to reprise their roles as co-hosts for the Great Smoke. As we did earlier this year for the first time, we have worked with select manufacturers to make very limited TGS releases. We got Aganor Salif, Espinosa Cigars, Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, Room 101, and ADV Cigars. They will each be making a very limited run of TGS edition cigars, exclusively to ticket holders for the Great Smoke. There will be a series of special virtual events between the end of November and the beginning of February where all these TGS limited releases will be offered prior to the Great Smoke event. So you will need to get your ticket in advance to be eligible to get into the very special TGS virtual store to participate in these events prior to the Great Smoke date. As always this year, we're going to have a very special dinner hosted by the Red Meat Lovers Club and special guest Steve Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. This is going to be a last luau feast like you've never seen before, and all attendees will get a very limited RML, it's Red Meat Lovers cigar, made by Steve Saka just for this event. So what do you have to do to participate? Go to thegreatsmoke.com, secure your ticket, which will get you the last luau party back. Now, whether you're virtual or coming live, everyone will get the same epic package. This is the most epic Great Smoke package we've ever made in the history of this event. Almost $450 worth of swag and 40 premium cigars that'll either be delivered to your door or handed to you the day of the event. As always, during the Great Smoke, we'll have mega raffles and prizes, and whether you're at home or there live in person, everyone who gets a ticket is automatically entered. The event dates are February 24th through February 27th, with the main event being February 26th. And whether you're there in person or live watching at home, we're going to have 5 special virtual sessions and interaction with what's going on in the event floor, so you can actually see what people and what things are going on as the event is happening. Tickets go on sale this Friday, November 12th, noon Eastern Standard Time. I urge everyone out there to get their tickets early. They'll let you participate in all the pre-virtual events we're going to have with the manufacturers who made limited releases, and it'll secure your ticket because our feeling this will be the most epic year ever as far as ticket sales and how fast they'll go. To get your tickets and for more information, go to www.thegreatsmoke.com. The last luau, baby, because this will be the last luau you'll ever need to go to. Peace! Welcome back, everybody. Honest Abe here again with my crew, the Italian Scallion, the Goat, and our special guest, Eric Guttormson.
Hey!
Master Sensei himself. So look, I have to be a parent now. As a parent, every now and then you have to just kick your child in the ass. All right? So Paul, unmute yourself so we can hear your stupid laugh.
Hold on, I have to go. I'm very busy right now.
So, Paul, next week we have a best of because it's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah,
I want you to commit right now in front of everybody that the following Saturday you will have a new Bonner wine commercial.
Let me take a memo. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, sure. We'll have a new Bonner wine. But wait, Part of the reason, and you're going to think this is an excuse, but part of the reason I haven't done it is because they're
Well, it is.
changing the
It's an
they're
excuse.
changing the package.
Okay, well, that's fine. But we'll have a new Bonner wine commercial on the next KMA Live.
What does the package have to do with the commercial? You don't
Well,
even
we
hold
talk
up
about-
a bottle.
I talk
you don't even
about
hold up a
Sunal.
bottle of wine in the commercial.
I drink it. Well, and some of them we maybe not. Yeah, maybe we drank it all
I mean,
before we
drink
ever
out of
filmed
sippy
the
cups
commercial.
and. Understand.
I should have taken it last night. We drank our last bottle.
are you-
Paul's a masochist. He enjoys the abuse.
Are you committed to this?
For the next show, which is what, January what?
No.
I mean January. Yeah. Hold on. I'm looking at dates.
Paul,
yeah.
If you don't have one, you're going to make a $100 donation to the charity of our KMA Fans Choice.
All right. I mean, maybe I'll make that donation anyway for the heart.
There you go. Good man. Good man.
Yeah. Well, I'll have a one ready. Yes.
That's what I want to hear.
I commit.
There you go. Sometimes you got to kick people in the ass. That's all. I saw in your comments you're coming down to the Great Smoke.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Now you didn't come. Yeah, you've been coming down now for the Great Smoke for how many years?
Well, we were talking earlier about when we started. I think that that very first year, so that would have been 2013 because we started in 2012, and then 2013 that was the first year I went to the Great Smoke.
Yeah, and I think you made pretty much almost every year except last year. You did the watch party.
Right.
And we actually simulcast you guys in from your studios. I can't remember how many people you had. You had a nice little crowd. You were watching it.
Yeah.
What did you think of that whole digital experience? Just curious.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, you guys set a new bar, and frankly, I don't even like the bar because it's so high that that same year, of course, there was the whole COVID thing, and at the last minute, Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest got canceled, right? And so they had us do a virtual like Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest, and in it, it was fun. We had a good time and everything, and we were proud of the show. We were proud of what we did. We had like 3 different shows that day, and then you guys come along and do that, and it was just disheartening, man. I gotta say, from a
we stole the thunder a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, from a broadcasting perspective, it's rough to even think about trying to do something like that again, because that Great Smoke last year was amazing.
If it makes you feel any better, and you can ask Alex what you guys did, and there was 2 virtual events we watched because we were fortunate enough to be literally like the last live event right before the world shut down, and then we were fortunate enough to watch a couple other people attempt to do something because we didn't know what we were going to do. And watching what you guys did was really our inspiration. Okay, well, that was nice, it was fun, but how do we try to incorporate what we do and try to translate it somewhat on a screen? And literally watching what you guys did was a little bit of our inspiration to take it to that level. So had you not set that base level bar, we may have never even gotten there. So, it was kind of a crazy year, but now because of that, it's forever changed how we're going to do our events. I mean, now this year we're doing this live virtual experience, which, once again, I said this last year before the digital experience, if we pull this off, I think it'll be one of the coolest ever in history of cigar events, of being able to have people come from all over the world, literally. I mean, if there's any sign of what's going to happen this year, we've taken hotel room, not from the beginning, but I think probably starting in year 5 or 6, we started getting local blocks. Mm-hmm. We've never sold out our room blocks, or if we did, I never knew about it, and we sold out our room block, which is the biggest block we've ever taken. Yesterday, I found out there was no more rooms available. Or the day before yesterday, I think they called us and they said there was like 3 rooms left. And we asked for an additional block of, I think, 30 or 40 rooms. And I don't know if it's gone up yet because we looked yesterday and they were still out. But there's another block of rooms coming up, and it's a little bit more of a rate, but it's still cheaper than anything we saw out there. But just looking at signs like that, we're really just going to expect a really crazy year this year. And I'm glad that you're going to be coming down to witness it. This is going to be insane. We got a volcano coming in.
Oh, well, you know what? You got a couple volcanoes because you got Kim and Michael. I mean, Michael, he was incredible on last year's telecast. Like Herklotz, I'm telling you, he was so polished, so sharp, so funny. Like he was a perfect co-host, Abe. Like he nailed that one.
Part of our success sometimes is coming up with the right recipe. Michael was my first choice. I knew it was going to be imperative for him to be involved, and when he confirmed, I was so happy because he had a lot going on.
Right.
With just starting Ferio Tego in the background. A lot of people didn't know what was going on, and we're in the middle of COVID. We weren't sure he was going to fly out. And, in the back of my head, we're still living in a state where, hey, I could be fine today and be sick tomorrow. Right. And I'm thinking, God forbid something happens to me. We have all this invested. He was the one guy I really thought of that could pull this off. Should I not be able to make it for any reason, he was the one guy that I felt would be able to pull off the show should I not be able to make it. And we're just honored and thrilled. Like, he had committed to doing this again immediately after the show.
Right. I feel like I think after the show we were in the back, literally talking about next year.
We were like, hey, we might do something like this again.
Right.
Are you interested?
What's
like,
funny?
Asking me.
And what a lot of people don't realize, because he became such a glowing part of the show, like up to Friday morning, the day before the event, we weren't sure if Michael was going to make it. There were storms. There was all kinds of shit going on in New York. We didn't know if he was even going to be able to get on a plane to make it here. We had a backup ready. This is the day before the event.
We mean the day before the event? He texted us a picture from the terminal that morning.
Right.
Friday morning. Yeah, the day before. You're right.
Friday morning.
Before. He's like, I'm on the plane. We're good.
Right. Now, hey, Abe, can you say who was the backup? Who was
Fred Rui.
Fred Rui.
He would be good too. Yeah. Fred.
Listen, and we literally sat here and we started talking because Alex would have been a natural fix, but Alex had too much to do in the background with the web and everything that was going on. And we literally sat here and like Fred Rui was like, that's the guy who could do it. And to his testament, Fred committed to come down the last minute. If we found out Michael couldn't get on the plane, he was ready to drive down and be involved and do the show. So that's what happens when you have great relationships in the industry. And
no doubt.
Guys like that says, yeah, just let me know. He goes, I was planning on watching it and being involved. We got my kit, but if you need me, call me. I'll head right down. So that was awesome.
So what's this volcano? I'm dying to.
I don't even know.
I haven't heard. Yeah, me neither.
All he keeps saying is we have a volcano.
Yeah, bro, volcano. I mean, I'm like,
where? I mean, volcano.
We got volcanoes. We got fire dancers. We got steel drum players. We had to get the fire marshal involved. They had to get a special permit just for the entertainment. It's going to be, if we pull this off, this is going to be a crazy, 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 crazy year. I'm super, super excited about it. And literally, that swag pack, the party pack, is probably the most epic pack in the history of us doing this. I actually did the math later because we were in a rush to get that video out. It's really closer to $480 worth of stuff. The cigars alone retail listed about $365. So, I mean, you want to talk about value. Anybody who just doesn't get that pack alone is just insane. It's literally like almost $500 worth of stuff for $165. And what's funny is, like last year is, all the information's on the site. What you get, if you click on it, even tells you the cigar companies. Most of them, 95% of them, know the brands already. They're all listed, but nobody read it. And then last year, literally, we thought we were done shipping. We're like, okay, we're gonna leave tickets up on sale for another 2 weeks. Don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden, these packages started landing everywhere, and everybody started opening them up and doing videos. And we got inundated so bad, we had to say, okay, we're stopping selling tickets now because we'll never get all these packages out. So, hopefully people will read it. But I'm very excited about this year. I'm glad you're coming down to experience it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, man.
Always a pleasure to have you there, man. Always. So we have a segment every week. It's called As the Record Spins, and it's by Avo Cigars. And our good friend Eddie Guerra has a special question just for you.
Ooh.
Paul with the late.
Come on, Paul.
All right, Eric. Here's our question from Eddie Guerra.
All right.
What is your opinion on the traditional media versus influencers?
Oh, I thought this was going to be a music question.
No, these are just whatever.
I was all ready to bust out some Ramones and let's get this thing going. All right, so I'm sorry. Ask the question again.
What is your opinion on credential traditional media versus influencers? Obviously, that was some kind of discussion and topic at the trade show. The difference, and what's your take on that? Your personal take?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's room for both of these things. There's some great social media influencers out there that really, hone their craft and really take the time to do it right, and it's a value to the industry. But you could say that exact same thing, about the credentialed media. There's people that really take it seriously and that make it a part of really adds value to the industry. And then there's other guys that are Johnny come lately, boom boom, they're in, they're out, they're the hot thing for 6 months, and then they're gone. And so I think both things can be either good or bad. They're kind of neutral. If just in the topic themselves, they're sort of neutral. It depends on the effort that each one, we always find, you see these guys, they come up, in the media and like, oh, I'm going to be a provocateur. I'm going to say all this crazy stuff. And people are going to think I'm nutty, and I'm going to just say how it is. And then they cause a bunch of crazy, drama and whatnot. And yeah, they get some attention, but then 2 years later, these guys they're gone, And so we're one of the few, media outlets that does this full time as an actual business. So, we're not just doing it, after work for a couple hours. Now that doesn't mean that's the only way it should be done. I'm not slighting guys that have to have regular jobs at all. I'm just saying, there are the guys that have staying power in the business. Obviously, Half Wheel, the way they do what they do, and Coop, the way he does what he does, and those types of guys, Blind Man's, they've been doing it forever. And that's a value. But now we're seeing these influencers, and some of them come on and it's a one-trick pony. They're showing body parts, and that's pretty much as in-depth as it goes. But then there are other influencers that are really taking it seriously and trying to be a value to the industry. So I say, there's good and bad in both. Abe, what do you think?
Well, look, I think anything that helps talk about the lifestyle, what we do, helps propagate it in a positive light is always a good thing. But do you feel that the influencers in our industry, because look, every industry has its influencers, do you feel that in our industry it's taken more negatively than the norm?
I don't know, because I haven't been a part of any other industry during this whole influencer sort of craze, so I can't totally speak to it. My gut feel is there's probably similar feelings in other industries as well, because you take wine. I love my wine. I try to drink wine almost every night, and I experiment and get into it. And I know in the wine industry there's a little bit of this as well. I don't know what the wine people think of the influencers, but I do see the same kind of stuff in the wine industry. I know there's similar stuff in the craft beer industry. So my gut feel is it's probably similar in these other industries, although I don't know that for sure. Yeah, they get some negative comments. Oh, they're in the way, we're trying to do the trade show and they're just doing their thing, and what's the point? Like, why should I interview an influencer when it's not going to be published anywhere? And I get those criticisms. Like, I understand why there's that criticism, but at the same time, like you said, they are promoting premium cigars, and they're getting maybe people interested in cigars that might have never been interested in it. And so for that, it's a good thing. You just hope that they take it seriously and do it the right way. And but I think all in all, it's a net positive.
I'm surprised at how much of our industry still has embraced the media, especially in today's day and age. I've said it before, I'll say it again. When I first started getting involved, right, it was mostly just blogs, right? Guys had pages, did stories. No one was doing shows. There weren't that many personalities. but I loved having a second or third, fourth tier medium that wasn't just cigar aficionado, right? And I remember because I used to work with, I think at one time it may have been up to 13, 14 different bloggers, because my shtick was all my agreements would renew on May 1st, my advertising, because I only wanted to deal with it once a year. And it's something that I embraced early, but it just blows my mind in this industry how it's taken the industry so long to really embrace it or work with them, and especially the guys who now been around almost 10 years, with such credibility, and then there's still people who still don't get it. Are you shocked by that still?
Well, I mean, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, Abe, a lot of that has to do with, this premium cigar industry is kind of an old world industry, and they're a little maybe slower to, jump on to new technology. Not that this is really new anymore, but, I think it's just one of those things. Like, they're so used to the way things were all those years, and it's a little bit harder for them to kind of adjust. But you do see them adjusting rapidly now, right? Like over the last few years, things have changed dramatically. Big, huge, old school companies have started to adopt some of these new practices and get involved with the bloggers and whatnot. So yeah, it's changing. They're adapting.
I mean, it used to be nobody even acknowledged it, right? Even the trade show didn't even acknowledge it. You guys had to sneak in for years as as friends and badges of manufacturers or retailers that would get you in. And then I remember when I was on the board, I think that was the first year where we made a media badge, where all of a sudden we would allow. I think we set some kind of standard on what you needed to do or be to actually be considered real media. And I think the year I was on the board, we passed that and made that a real thing. And it was just so they just weren't into it, and it has become a lot more. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of companies now that are embracing it and working with it, and more so since COVID. COVID has just changed the game. But even now, today, there are still some that just, I don't know why, just are not on that ship yet. And I just don't get it.
Well, now, Abe, there's even another group of people, which are the people that only do the video stuff, right? So you have influencers, you have the traditional print media guys, you have the blogger guys, and then now you have these guys that do, just a YouTube channel. There's no website anywhere. It's just a YouTube channel. And again, just the same as anything else. Some of those guys do it really, really well. And, some guys just are doing it just because they're just jacking around, goofing off. But, now that's, an emerging sort of segment in the, whatever you want to call it, the promotion and aspect of premium cigars.
Before we get Coupon, I got one more question. You got your 10th anniversary coming up. You just mentioned it earlier. You guys got anything crazy planned you want to share that's going on for your 10th anniversary?
Well, I can't share anything specific, but I can say that we're doing several sort of special projects for the year. 10 years. That's, I say that right now, and it just kind of blows me away that it's been 10 years. So yeah, we want to do a couple of special cigar projects, some cigars that we think are maybe are representative of a 10-year kind of anniversary. So usually we do 5 to 6 projects in a year, and I think that's pretty much the way it'll go next year as well. There'll be 5 to 6, and all of those are pretty much set in the can. And there's a couple projects that don't have anything to do with our 10th anniversary, but we have 3 or 4 that are special for the 10th anniversary. So that'll be exciting, and can't wait to kick that off. It's only what is it, a month and
not far away, is it?
Yeah, a month and a couple of weeks.
I know. All right, well, let's get our man on and see what is the scoop with Coop this week.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
I say it every week. That is one of my favorite intros.
I love it.
That's great.
I jam in the back.
I don't know where that chorus came from, where they go, "Yo, Coop, what's on?" Because I know the voiceover is Duffy. He works with WGN, the Cubs, and he's been doing a lot of our voiceovers. He did it for the Great Smoke, the Digital Experience. He's an awesome guy, but I don't even know who did that chorus, or the secondary audio of "Hey Coop." It's just such a.
Isn't that from Hanging with Mr. Cooper?
Yep.
Is that what it is?
I think it is. Yes.
Okay.
First season.
I didn't know where that was from, but whoever put that intro together, man, that's never going away. That's like my favorite one.
I love it. I'm appreciative of it.
What's up, Coop?
What's up, Eric? What's going on?
Hey, my buddy Coop. Coop, there. Everywhere I go, there's Coop, man. Me and you, we're like traveling buddies. We're like Sinatra and Bing Crosby, right?
You talked about that 2013 Great Smoke. That's where you and I first met. I think we were kind of leaving the Matt Booth event that night, and
bringing great people together. Still,
yeah. So and look, Eric's right. I've traveled with Eric more than any other person in the world. That's including my wife.
Wow.
We've been to like multiple countries, multiple states. So he's a great friend, and I'm so proud of what he's built in the last 10 years. I'm so glad he's celebrating his 10 years because he's done an amazing job.
Thank you, Coop.
Yep, I mean that. Yep.
Wow, I feel the love.
There's a lot of love for this guy. This guy's always been there for me, and I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Coop, where are you? Yeah, you got to.
I'm in the Miami area. I had to come down for some non-cigar business, but I will be up in Boynton on Tuesday.
Oh, maybe we'll do a little live feed while you're here.
Yep. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to get down here prior to this business, but I decided to leave yesterday, and I'm here. I'm in a hotel.
Nice. So what's the scoop this week, Coop?
All right. So there was news of a project, and this has not really been a secret. Roma Craft was talking about this project called Quinquagenario, which is a series of limited edition cigars they were going to do for each of the principals who own the company and the factory's 50th birthday. And the first of the three was going to have the 50th birthday, Skip Martin, in 2022. And what's going to be unique is they're going to be doing these projects outside of their factory. Skip's kind of holding off on using the word collaboration, but he is teaming up with Ernesto Perez Carrillo Jr. To release the first of these Quinquagenario cigars. And it's a release. They don't have many details of the release, other than it's going to be a Robusto in 24-count boxes. And Skip's going down on a periodic basis to work on the blends with it. I think one of the things he wanted to do is work with Dominican tobaccos. So, he's considered Ernesto a friend, a mentor. So that process is in place. We don't have many more details on what the cigar exactly is going to be, though. But I guess it's something to stay tuned for next year.
All right. What else you got going on?
All right. So that was the first thing. And so if you are looking for another, we talked a couple weeks ago about a Cohiba cigar that's going to be $250. Well, the good news is there's going to be a more affordable option available for you with the third release of the Cohiba Spectre. So this one's only going to go for $119 per cigar. That's it. So this is going to be a little more of a deal. Yeah, I'll say this. I've had the last release of the Spectre was the 2019. I'm not saying that was sold for about $90. I'm not saying any cigar's worth $90, but that was a hell of a cigar that they released that year. I was very impressed with that cigar. But this one is scheduled to hit the stores before the end of the year with that. And if like I said, if you can't afford the other Cohiba, you have a good option here with the new Spectre coming out.
I can't help but think of James Bond when I hear that name.
Yeah. The nice thing is at least we found out about this General cigar before it hit the shelves. Normally we find out like a week or two after it hits the shelves. That's
typically when their sales reps find out.
Well, and I kind of don't understand. Like, my retailers are constantly the ones who tell me about these cigars. So, I mean, I'll talk about another one in a second that's already been on the shelves. So I don't quite understand I'm frustrated by the strategy, and I've let them know I'm frustrated by the strategy.
That's not it. That's not it.
That's the old one, Paul.
That's not it, Paul.
Oh, really? I looked up 2021.
Yeah, I think I was 2000. Is it? No,
I don't have
yesterday, didn't we? Abe,
yeah, I don't have the article on Coop yet with it.
Half Wheel has a picture of it.
Yeah,
or you can go to Cigar Dojo's got it if you want.
Yeah, Dojo's got it. Yeah. I was traveling yesterday, so we didn't get a chance to finish that article, but it is out there.
What else you got going on?
So speaking of General, on the Ford side, Ford's cigar company side, Partagas is one of the brands. They announced the Partagas Decadas 2021 edition. Now this one I think is kind of a cool cigar. I saw Eric, you posted this one as well. In that Partagas Decadas is an annual limited edition they've been doing the last few years. That they brought back actually a few years ago too. But what's cool about this is that line's going for Cameroon seed. So this one they're going to be using a Brazilian grown Cameroon seed, which I think is I was looking to see if there was another example of a cigar that used the Brazilian Cameroon seed, and I couldn't find another one. So that one I think is something that's pretty cool. This one's, like I said, this one already hit the shelf. So
limited reserve. When I first got in this business, the Green Label Partagas was probably one of the top selling ones. We couldn't keep them in stock. Sold very, very well. Then it just kind of died down. And then they tried bringing it back as decadent. Right. And, on our retail level, and I don't speak for the country, I can only speak on our retail stores, it just never took again after that initial when I first got in the business. So it'll be interesting to see how this new non-Cameroon version, is received by consumers.
Yeah, they actually changed up the packaging because it is known for those green bands, and this one is going to have
bands,
a
the glass tube, the wood box with the bronze emblem on top. It was a very decadent box.
But when they first came out, Abe, you're right. They were really red hot. But when it came back, I don't think it captured what it was. I can agree with you on that, for sure. Because like I said, I remember when I got a couple of those as gifts. I was like, this is a great cigar.
Anything else you got going on, Coop?
So another cigar that's just hit the shelves this week. And this is a really this is kind of one of the more high profile releases I saw at the trade show. Plasencia's new release, the 149 Coseca, has hit the shelves right now. The Coseca series is their harvest series. The 149 stands for tobaccos from their 149th harvest. And what's a little different about this Plasencia release is that Plasencia has been, as folks know, a few years ago, they started branding, they came out with their own brand. And they've been releasing cigars under the Plasencia name. But this is the first Honduran Puro they released it.
Not the first time.
Not the first time, but I think it's the first time they got serious about it.
Yeah, first time successfully, not the first time.
Yeah. I mean, this time they kind of did it right. They did a distribution company, and, they put a whole force together. But this one's a Honduran Puro, which is the first Honduran Puro they're putting under the Plasencia brand. So this one has hit the shelves as we could speak. It's available in 3 sizes, and it goes from about $12 to $14.50 per cigar. So you could check that out. And that is your news for this week.
All right. Scoop, anything you got going on this week coming up that your fans could look forward to?
So it's Thanksgiving week, but we're going to be recording next weekend the 2-year anniversary of the Cigar Jukebox show, and that will air the following Monday. And our special guests are going to be for that show. We think it's 2-year anniversary, so we're going to have 2 mics on. We're going to have Mike and Mike from Cigar Hustlers podcast on, so they'll be our guests. And then on December 2nd, we have the big industry panel show where, Abe, you're going to be on with Jeff Borsowitz and Dave Garofalo. And like I said, I think I mentioned that last week. It's the first time I'm going to have all 3 of you guys on a show, so we're very excited about that.
I think it'll probably be the first time all 3 of us will be on anybody's show at the same time.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a fun show. We promise not to keep you guys super late either. So I think it will be all good. And so that will be December 2nd. You're going to want to tune into that.
What a fake promise.
Yeah, I was going to say 1 a.m. the earliest.
If I go past 1 a.m., I'll do a donation to a charity.
Go buy some Bonner private wine so I don't look bad.
Paul, you got to deliver on that commercial, man. Come on. I mean, this has gone long enough. The last commercial you did was back in the summer.
I don't want to get how pathetic Paul is. He's supposed to get his feet like on Thursday. And then he has the audacity to get it. When did you get it, Alex, this morning? The sheets. When did you get the show sheets this morning?
It came at like 1:30 in the morning.
Well, hold on. That's when I sent the link.
So he's got the audacity to send it to us at 1:30 a.m. Okay, and then
you were up.
Wait, on the sheet it says Cigar Dojo does a segment called Smoke Night Live called Cigar Brand Stock Market. They take 5 or 10 brands discussing if you should buy, sell, or hold their stock based on their current performance. Abe and Alex picked 10 brands to discuss. We're reading it for the first time this morning. When are we going to pick 5 brands?
It's called improv.
Yeah. Go ahead, Paul. Improv that segment.
Coop's done that segment several times.
Oh my god! Let me tell you, that's one of the greatest segments to do. It's one of the greatest segments to do, but it's a long segment to do with the 10 of them.
I've done that segment once. Should we throw some at Coop and should we play Eric's own segment with him? See how he does?
I would love it.
All right, we got time. We got nowhere to go. So let's take turns. We'll each pick 3 cigars. Me, you, and Alex will do one at a time, and we'll see how it goes. How's that?
Paul, you're picking brands, though, right? Not
brand. What's the rules exactly, Eric? Is
company. It's a company.
All right, so let me set it up just real quick so people don't freak out. Now, remember, it's should you buy, sell, or hold just based on how they're doing right now, this little sliver in time. Now, think about like the stock market or crypto or whatever. You might sell crypto that you love, right? But you're selling it just because of the little snapshot that you're in right now. That doesn't mean that you don't like that crypto. It just means that, right now I'm going to sell. I'm going to wait till there's an upswing and then I'll buy. So if we say that we're selling, that doesn't mean we dislike this brand. It just means like right now, I'm going to sell.
That sounds like a statement from a man who's taking some flack.
I was just going to say, very diplomatic. Very diplomatic.
All right. We'll take turns. We'll go me, Alex, Paul. Sound good?
All right. Sounds good.
I'll start off. Ready? ADV cigars. Buy, sell, or hold?
So ADV, I mean, I'm going to assume this is a more inexpensive, cheaper stock because they're a young company. I might want to buy a little bit to put in my portfolio because it's kind of like that Shiba Inu, you don't know, maybe it's going to explode. So I'm just going to buy a small chunk. What about you, Coop?
I'm buying. They're up for one of the #1 cigar of the year on Coop this year. I think what they're doing is some really, really good stuff. Like I said, we had Henderson on last week, but yeah, buy. This is a buy for me, no question.
There you go. Alex?
La Flor Dominicana.
All right. So this is, a classic brand, been around forever.
Can't deliver.
They've had some huge hits. But right now, I'm probably selling. There hasn't been much buzz in quite some time. As much as I love them, I'm probably going to sell right now.
I'm holding. Eric said they're a classic company right now. I think right now for sure it's something they're going through some pains. But I don't think they're, I think they kind of got to get back to the rhythm that they had a few years ago. But they've been around a long time, and I'm going to hold because I have some confidence in them.
All right, Paul?
Okay, here's one. Quesada.
Wow, that was going to be one of mine. Good choice.
Well, all right, so this could be a tricky one. This could be a tricky one because the way I see it now, their stock's probably really cheap, and my gut instinct would be to sell. But there's this chance that they could be purchased by somebody else, and then all of a sudden that stock could be very valuable. But that's just really like stretching. So I gotta sell. I'm gonna sell it all right now.
I'm going to buy with them. I think they had one of the best. I think what they delivered product-wise at the trade show was one of the better companies. I'm seeing the company get more engaged on social media. I mean, Raquel's got something out every day. They're starting to work with some of the online media brands. And I think they have a few things they still need to kind of work on, particularly their sales and distribution piece. But I think, like I said, I think they're getting there. And right now, I could probably buy at a good price, is what I'm saying. So I'm going to buy based on that.
Now, Coop, I'll add to what you're saying. I got to say, guys, I smoked the Ferriotego Elegancia, and it was excellent. It was great. So that's something else that they got going for them right there.
I mean, the new Oktoberfest was a home run, and the new Casa Magna Liga F is a home run. They had 2 home runs, but I think, like I said, right now you can buy that stock at a good price. That's why I'm saying buy, because I have some confidence that these products are going to do well.
All right, my turn. Roma Craft.
You know, I would have maybe said sell for the last couple of years because after the Baca, things just didn't seem to be happening with that company. And you know, I know they kind of do their own thing. How do you buy stock in a company that says we're only going to do we're only going to do X? That's all we're going to do. We're only going to sell this many cigars. We don't care. Like, how does that help me as an investor? You know. But I gotta say, I'm a little excited about the news this past week that Skip is trying some new stuff, working with some new factories. I think maybe at this point I'm gonna hold instead of sell. Like, I'm a little excited about the prospect of maybe something cool and unique coming out of Romacraft.
Interesting.
It's a sell for me because, like Eric said, there's a cap on the number of cigars there. This new project only got 50,000 cigars, so I don't see how I'm going to make money. Look, this ain't an indication what I think Roma Craft's doing is bad. They have some excellent quality products. I just don't think I'm investing my money here right now based on what I'm seeing, the model. So maybe something will change.
Eric, was you a hold on that?
I held on. I'm going to hold on that just until I see what comes out of this new, you know, vision that Skip's got going.
All right, Alex.
Caldwell.
God, you gotta love Robert. The guy marches to the beat of his own drummer. That's for sure. I think that with Caldwell, they're one of those companies that will surprise you kind of out of nowhere. But there hasn't been a ton of new stuff going on. So for me, and I hate to throw too many holds out there because it's more fun if you say buy or sell. But on Caldwell, I'll just hold because I do think that Robert has a way of coming out with something that sort of surprises you and you're like, oh, that's a pretty freaking cool project. So I'll hold on Caldwell for now.
Cool.
I'm selling. I'm not sure where the direction of Caldwell is going. Like, is it lost and found? I know they're separate companies. Is it Caldwell? The new Caldwell stuff right now is just I'm not hearing a lot about it. They're not talking to the media. I don't see traction from some of the existing stuff. They have great cigars, don't get me wrong. I love Robert, but right now just nothing to make me say I'm putting my money in this company.
My turn?
Yep, sir.
Gurkha.
Ooh.
I'm gonna let Coop go first on this one.
Hold. I'm gonna hold on that. You know, I think that they've really been trying to work to try to. They've had their issues the last couple of years. There's no question about it. But I think they're really trying to work at that. It's not going to be an overnight process to heal. And I think the products they're coming out with are certainly. I like that they're working this year with the El Artista factory. I think I need to see a little more progress in terms of some of that healing, but I'm going to hold with that right now and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm selling. I mean, I gotta, you know, what do they say? Like, you gotta invest in what you, if you go to Starbucks every day, if you buy Apple products, you know, those are the companies that you should be invested in because you have an emotional attachment to them. I've just never had a lot of good luck with Gurkha, so I'm selling. I have no idea what the vision is. I know they're trying, and I hope it turns around. And if they do, you know, I'll be there to join in on that. But right now, I'm selling.
Have you tried any of their lines that are coming out of the Aganorsa factory?
Yeah, I've had them, and they're much better, obviously. Yeah.
All right, last round. All right, here we go. Crowned Heads.
Crown Heads, I'm buying. You know what's funny about this one, Abe? We've done this brand stock market thing for so long, and it wasn't that long ago that every single panelist on our show, when it got to Crown Heads, said sell. Like it just seemed like they were like always, you know, kind of taking a back seat in the factories that they were working with. But ever since they did this Ace Prime thing and got hooked up with Ace Prime, they have been hitting on all cylinders. This to me is a solid buy. I always find it so fascinating how a company has a really good year, and then a lot of times the next year they're quiet. Well, Crown Heads for the last 2-3 years, bam, 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 they've had solid years. I'm really hot on Crown Heads. I'm buying.
Eric, total agreement. Exactly everything you said on that. Buy the Ace Prime thing is. I'm really seeing the fruits of that partnership pay off. It's kind of become they're starting to work with that factory more and more. They're getting newer tobaccos in there. You know, a few years ago it was limited this, limited that, and it was not really exciting to me. I think they're really working on some brand building right now. So I'm buying. I think, like I said, I think this is a no brainer.
I got to tell you, give you a little insider information. You both kind of probably are on point because for the first time in a long time, Mike and John are actually scheduled to be on KMA this January. And an appearance on KMA will skyrocket any company. So That's a good call. That's a good call.
Yeah. No. I mean, get both of them on a show is not easy.
It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy.
No.
That Abe, are you saying that's sort of like Elon Musk, like making a tweet about his dog Floki or something like that?
All right, last round for you, Alex.
Oliva.
Ooh, good one.
Oliva. I mean, it just seems like they just live off that Melania, like that's the Serie V, right? Like that it's a never end, and it's a great cigar. So, no more power to them, but it just seems like they just live off of that brand. Like that's the one brand. And they've tried some other new stuff that I didn't think was that great, but
so you're saying all their eggs are in one basket?
Yeah, all their eggs in one basket. To me, it's a. I'm going to keep a little, but I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell my big portion. I don't want this to be a large portion of my portfolio. To me, it's just not that interesting. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I know they have a huge, fan base that smokes some of their stuff, almost exclusively, which is great. They're almost kind of like that sort of GE type of stock. Me personally, I'm selling just because it doesn't spark my fire.
We totally disagree on this one. This is an easy buy for me. Right now, I think the company is doing some more stuff in terms of product innovation that I haven't seen in a long time. There's some new releases. There's the whole Puros Indios acquisition piece that I think we're going to start to see some stuff in next year with. Puros, that
was a joke.
Okay. But regardless, it gives them some new things to work out of. They have a new factory. I'm really impressed with Corey as the CEO of that company. I think he's doing an amazing job, and I think Oliva's got a great sales force on top of that. This is an easy buy for me. And Eric, to your point, I get the stuff about Melania, but isn't Padron 1964 or 1926?
Yeah,
but
you're right.
Yeah,
you're 100% right. I can't argue with you on that, Coop. That's a good point.
Different model company.
Yeah.
What do you think, Abe? Who made the better stock choice right there on Oliva?
That's a great question. You both have merits. Oliva is kind of, in my opinion, a little bit detached. Their acquisition of Puros Indios, that was great, but Puros Indios died on the vine, like literally died on the vine. So I don't know what infusion or excitement that's going to bring to it. I don't even know if Paul's even heard of Puros Indios. Have you, Paul?
Yeah, because we've spoken about them on the show. I can't remember. Was there somebody that came on the show that
you wouldn't even know what a Puros Indios cigar looks like, right?
No. I wouldn't know it, and I've never smoked it. Right. No, but we spoke about it with Lou, a couple of times, or something. Spoke about it.
I think that's probably a hold for me. I land in the middle. I just don't know what direction they're going. They just don't seem to have a connectivity outside of what they built. I don't see it moving forward. It seems very stagnant waters for me. But it's a powerhouse of a company. It's a powerhouse of a brand. But like Eric says, I just don't know where the future, what direction they're going in, to be honest with you. So probably a hold off for me on that one. Very controversial. Good pick, Alex. Paul, close us out.
It's not a big company, but I would just be curious to see what you guys would think. Rockefeller.
All right. That super great guy. I can't think of what's his name?
Kevin Schweitzer.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, what a cool guy. I really liked him. Had a great time with him at TPE last year, hanging out. Super nice guy. Cigars, okay. I can't say that I'm going to buy. If I have some stock, I think I'm going to hold on to it, see how they do, because I do sort of cheer for brands like this. Inside, I'm like rooting for them really bad because I feel like there's a need for something new and different, and I kind of like their sort of whole magic, the whole magic thing that they got going on with the brand. So I'm not super jazzed about this, but I'm gonna get some stock in a little bit. So it's a little buy hold kind of action, but I'm not super hot on this. Just kind of just rooting for it personally.
When Kevin took over the brand in 2017, he had a real mess on his hands. I think he's done a great job of overhauling the brand, streamlining it. This is a buy. I'm not going to go a heavy buy on this, but this is a buy. Like I said, I like the magic stuff. It's not enough to make me put a lot of money into it, but I think I have more confidence that Kevin's going to continue to expand these core lines very well. So it's a buy, but it's not a heavy buy I'm going to do.
So now next year, you guys, we'll go back and we'll take these picks. Yeah. Abe wrote them all down.
I wrote them down. On a recap, you both only agreed on 2 companies.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
You only agreed on 2. So
that surprises me.
ADV was one of your agreements. Bye. LaFleur, Dojo Sell, Coop Hold. Quesada, Dojo Sell, Coop Buy. Romacraft, Dojo Hold, Coop Sell. Caldwell, Dojo Hold, Coop Sell. Gurkha, Dojo Sell, Coop Hold. The second time you agreed was Crown Heads, bye. Oliva was a sell by Dojo, buy by Coop, and Rockefeller a hold by Dojo and a buy by Coop.
But Oliva was the only one we were really far apart on, I think. Of all those, we were close, but the Oliva one I think we were polar opposite on those, but not too far off on the others.
I've never smoked anything but the Milano, by the way, ever from Oliva. That says anything.
They make a lot of really good, really solid stuff. But
their Connecticut Reserve is solid. Yeah. The G Series Cameroon, is been a solid seller.
Regular Series V, I still like Regular Series V.
Regular Series V is a winner, still moves, but like I said, I just don't know the direction. It'd be very, very interesting. I think the dynamic of the whole company after it sold and pretty much the family kind of just stepped completely out of it. I mean, Jose stepped completely out of it the moment he got into politics. I mean, didn't even return calls anymore. It was just gone, disappeared off the face of the planet. And then after the family got out, I think the dynamic of the company changed. And I think it's a hold. I really do. That's my position. See where they go with this. But Eric, thank you for letting us steal your segment.
Oh, no, it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Abe, don't you think that just on that topic, and it's so much like stocks in that if there's a CEO that you feel good about, that really does go along. And this is why, people say, why do CEOs make so much money? That's ridiculous. They make too much. Well, a good CEO gives you a good feeling about that company and makes you want to invest in it. And these companies that you want to buy with cigar brands, that's the same thing. You have this identifiable character that you feel confident in, that he's going to make good decisions and they're going to produce good product. And so then you want to buy in that. And so it's very much like the whole stock, traditional stock topic, really.
There you go. All right. Well, that being said, it's time for one of my favorite segments of the show every week, Tail of the Tape, Season 3, Top 10 Mafia Movies of All Time. Let's run it.
All right, here we go. Tail of the Tape, Season 3. We are in the top 5. Number 5 pick for me, I'm actually taking Coop's number 6 pick, Donnie Brasco. So we touched on Donnie Brasco last week. Obviously, it was Coop's pick. We talked about, it's the story of Joe Pistone, Al Pacino, Johnny Depp, and the great depth of his acting. But there's another story in there that I want to touch on and that I really enjoy, and it's the story of the broke gangster. And you don't see that a lot in the movies, and that's actually a realer picture of what goes on day to day in that world than a lot of people realize. There's probably more broke gangsters than millionaires, and Donnie Brasco is one of the few movies that actually touches that. Go ahead, Coop.
Well, this is kind of funny because we flipped. My pick for number 5 was Once Upon a Time in America, and this was just coincidental. What I will say is I do prefer the European cut, which I know is longer, but I think the European cut really does justice to that movie. Despite the fact that Joe Pesci is in this movie, and I'm not a Joe Pesci fan, I still enjoyed this movie a lot. Yeah, I'm not a Joe Pesci fan. I'm sorry.
Information. Wow.
Yeah, but I do love that Paulie Burt Young is in this movie, so it's really good. But yeah, so I think it's really good. But yeah, I mean it's a great story. I love the chronicle. I love these chronicle stories of the gangster films, and this is another one of those for sure. So Once Upon a Time in America.
Commercial statements.
He said that. He has said that before.
So while we got Eric on, Eric,
yes,
mafia movies, and your
there's only two that just stand way above all of the others, and that's Goodfellas and Casino. I mean, I could watch both of those movies over and over and over.
You know what's funny? Sometimes in my mind I meld them, and I literally like switch scenes. Okay, no, wait, that was Casino. That wasn't
right.
Coop had never seen Goodfellas until what? A couple months ago, Coop.
A couple years ago. It was actually more of a couple years ago. Yeah, I and it's because of the Joe Pesci factor. I cannot stand him.
There's an interesting trend. What are we on, season 3?
Yeah.
So me and Coop, our lists tend to go like this, and then right around 5, 4, 3, we wind up like.
Yeah, and I have a feeling it's going to be the same again. Yeah.
But I need to ask Eric, right?
Yes.
So, do you consider Scarface a mafia movie?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's a mob movie.
Mafia movie.
So yeah, absolutely, dude. That's a fun movie, but I don't put it in my. It's not even in my top. Probably not in my top 5. I don't think.
It's a great movie.
I would show all of our picks, but I don't have a graphic.
Now I know Coop was a big fan of the Sopranos movie that just came out. I thought it was horrific. Didn't like it at all.
The only look, the storyline was so for me, but I truly enjoyed the acting. There you go.
Yep.
Nice.
Let me see that. Oh, okay. All right.
And anything you disagree with other than Scarface off the bat on that list, Eric?
Well, no, they both have Scarface lower, so I can't.
My Scarface is a different Scarface.
Oh yeah, yours is the 1932.
And Coop has Godfather 3 on there. Let's not let that.
which by the way, Vincent Pastore approved of.
No.
In his words, I said I was in it. I didn't say I liked it.
Bugsy.
He wouldn't have taken a role he didn't like.
Bugsy's great. I love Bugsy.
Oof. Ouch.
And there you have it.
That's a good list so far, though. I'm looking forward to seeing what's in the top 3.
Have you guys worked out a season 4 yet, or no?
Not yet.
No, we haven't figured out what it is. We probably have to decide that. It's probably back right around the first of the year. I'm guessing we'll be.
I feel like it's going to be food related.
Paul's just hungry.
Yeah, I am starving.
Eric, before we get you off, want to congratulate you, Granddaddy, once again.
Oh yeah!
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations!
That's awesome.
Jordan had a baby girl. So
yeah, Penny May. Yeah.
Did we ask Eric? What do you got coming up?
I'm sure
like this week or.
So Wednesdays, Flavor Audit. We've been doing the Robbie Raz and Randy Griggs. The first part of season 4 has been mocktails, so non-alcoholic cocktails. And you guys, I got to tell you,
I saw some of them.
You know what was crazy is the first episode that we did was the Shirley Temple. Now, everybody in their mind thinks that they know what a Shirley Temple is, and it's not. It's just like, hey, what is it? 7-Up and some cherry juice and right. An actual Shirley Temple with ginger beer and lime made the way that we made. It was so good. Like I was totally shocked how good that drink was, and it was a good cigar pairing. So what we decided to do in this first 4 weeks was there's a lot of guys that watch our show that on the Flavor Odyssey show that don't drink, and so let's give these guys 4 weeks where we can explore some non-alcoholic drinks. It's really been fun. This Wednesday is the non-alcoholic version of a mojito, has agave syrup in it, so it's a little bit a different recipe. If you want to get the recipe, it's in the Flavor Odyssey group on dojoverse.com. So we'll be challenging each other to come up with the best pairing for a non-alcoholic mojito. That's Wednesday. And then next Friday night on Smoke Night Live, we're going to do a Friendsgiving. Maybe we'll be doing some cigar pairings with cranberry sauce, turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, that kind of stuff. We'll see how that goes.
I have a non-alcoholic mojito recipe. I call it a fojito.
There you go.
Fojito.
As a non-alcoholic guy.
Good man.
Gotta watch that one.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. That should be interesting.
All right. Well, to all our friends and fans out there, next week will be a best of. We hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Take some time, enjoy it with your families. Eric, thanks for coming on. As always, Coop.
Thank you.
Our honorary guest and pleasures. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you back in 2 weeks. Please follow us on social media. If you're not a smoking socialite, go to Facebook. It's one of the greatest groups on Facebook, Smoking Social page. Check it out. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving and keep it lit.